Howdy, this is Rass again, and I'm here to answer some of your defensive questions. Okay, we are on my K36 on server 1222, and a note on champions. Got Helen to 16. Let's look at what she does. More reinforcements, that's important for defense. Enemy troop attack, negative 13%, that's important for defense. You get her all the way up to 20, it's a negative 20 enemy troop attack. That debuffs everything, so you want to get Helen to 20. I don't know if that's a right now priority or not, but it is something you want. That perfect crown in city troop defense and HP plus 28, that applies to all troops. That's especially good for ground. Percentage buffs go further on ground defense and HP because they're already highest. If you do percent math, it pumps up those two stats more. So that's the quickest thing you can do for defense. And then the in-city troop attack is plus 33. So having her at level 16 is not bad for the defense. Well, I want to get rid of that. Okay. Elizabeth here, she in-city range troop, and siege machine defense and HP. She buffs in-city range and siege, and then debuffs enemy ground and mounted. I'll put her third. You don't want to do her first. The one you want to do first is this one, Ariadne. See what she does. In-city ground and mounted troops defense and HP up 36%. You want that, especially if you have Queen Bee and you got a T1 wall and you got all those high tier ground troops, like I've seen that you do. And then she debuffs enemy range troop and siege machine HP, makes them easier to kill. That's a debuff. Buffs in-city group ground troop attack, and debuffs enemy range troop and siege machine defense. That's the first thing you want to get up there. I got her at level 10. I've been trying to do a well-rounded approach. This one here, in-city troop attack, debuffs enemy ground troops. Single time revives troops, power during server war. You want that. I don't know if it's a top priority or not, but you want it. And then in-city mounted troop defense at a higher level. I just got her up there. This one, she buffs in-city mount and ground, and I just got her, and she debuffs enemy range troop and siege machine attacks, so she's like a double up of Ariadne. This one I don't have. This one, Cassandra, she debuffs enemy ground and mounted troops, and she buffs in-city range and siege machines. So she's a double up of Elizabeth. So you want to get them up there and they buff your troops. Those are important. Go up here and show you my Thebes dragon. Only got this one at level 6. But you'll notice I've got the refines at a gold ground troop HP, 2 mounted troop flats for the T1 wall. I got 340 million T1s. And then the siege machine attack percentage. If you look at the talents, siege machine attack and ground troop HP. Now this is very low, but that siege machine attack is high. Okay, you want all of those things. You unlock this dragon by being king for 2 weeks, which right now you got to get your wings to do that, and I'm trying to help you do that. And really, that's my job on that server. I've helped 3 people in the top 5 so far. Want more. What was the next thing? Oh, subgens. Okay. Almost all his gear is Parthian. He's up a star. Reduces enemy troops' HP. Makes them easier to kill. It's a pretty well-rounded one. He's got the Nandi spiritual beast on him. That one debuffs enemy ground, but it's a debuff. This specialty, sabotage, you'll want to up on him. It's an enemy troop HP or defense. Then, of course, ranged troop defense, ranged troop attack, all that. And Andrew Jackson reduces enemy ranged troop attack. He's got the snipe, that's enemy troop attack. And he's got the range debuff gear. He's got the Chimera on him. That debuffs enemy siege, which that's important. And Hojo, he's a premium general. But he's up 1 star. You've got him, enemy range troop attack, range debuffs. He's got the Siren on him. Siren debuffs range. And again, he's got the snipe. I'll up that later. Debuff isn't the best on this, but you get the idea of the debuff generals. I'll show you my wall general. All of this flat refined out. All of this flat refined out. All of this flat refined out for mount. I've got 340 million mounted troops. All the specialties done. Now I got ground troop attack, ground troop defense, and ground troop HP for her. Just for something to buff ground troops, because if you read, every ascension she buffs ground troop HP. Or ground troop defense. So she buffs ground a lot with mounted, but she needs a little help with that, because all of her specialties are mount except this one. The rest of them are mount. All troops HP and defense. That helps ground more than anything. Now my assistant, Leo, you'll notice he has no gear. I ascended him 1 just because I could. This is range and siege that he buffs. Mostly siege. So I made sure to buff siege attack with. Then I've already shown you my blazons for this one, which they're not right, but yeah, defending ground troop attack, there's only one that helps the wall there. Defending ground troop defense, there's only one that helps the wall there. These could be better, a lot better. Nothing helps the wall there. Ground troop HP, only one of them helps the wall. Defending ground troop HP helps the wall. Reinforcing ground troop HP is useful, but it doesn't help the wall. This is the only one that's right. Ground troop attack, defending ground troop attack, and ground troop attack. Now the last one on monsters is not right, but I'm not trying to fix it right now. We'll go to the siege. And siege machine HP, defending siege machine HP, that helps the wall mostly. This is one I'm trying to do right. Defending siege machine attack and siege machine attack, that's right up to level 10. On monsters is not right, so I'll scrap that one later. defending siege machine attack. That's right. This one will get scrapped. And siege machine defense, defending siege machine defense. That one's perfect. That one will do good. I'm still trying to buff the troops that my wall gens buff and debuff the ones that hurt them when they get hit. Now you'll see over here 342 million T1s. So let me go see if I can find a hit this one took. Okay. This was a siege hit, and I lost it. So, teachable moment here. Got hit with a 1300 plus siege buff, and siege debuff was still 500. I don't have my subs linked in a battlefield, because they'll kill all your troops, and sub troops, if you lose all your sub troops, you lose your debuff. So here's what happens there. See, that T13 siege got wiped out. Lost 800,000 of them. That T12 siege lost 500,000 of them. T11 siege lost 600,000 of them. And they just barely beat you on points. Siege have the lowest HP and defense of any troop type. And they just sent just enough to win on points, mostly T11s. They snuck that in there and beat me by 40 million points. So that's how you win with a siege attack. Hadn't used this count in a while. And here's where we rallied someone. And hold on. Okay, we rallied someone and won on points to 361 to over 400 million, and they were reinforced. So that's attack. We wasn't talking about attack, we was talking about defense. So let's see if there's any SVS. No, that's from the previous one. So start this back up. Switching accounts on this device, you get mixed reports. So what typically happens, you get hit by range, and siege won't get touched. When you get hit by range, you won't have hardly any losses on siege. Nothing touches it. They'll take out a few. So you need those siege just enough to thin out the range march. But no records. Okay, they're all wiped. Okay, so we'll stop using this one and we'll switch over to one that's got more recent. Hard to listen to, but I try to put a lot of content on the screen where you can actually read what's going on, and I try to be repetitious, where you see a lot of, like there's Ariadne at 15. I practice what I preach. In-city ground and mounted troops defense and HP 36%. Enemy range troop siege machine HP minus 25%. You get her up there, you're getting something significant. Enemy rage troop and siege machine defense. In-city ground troop attack up 40. The military academy that you got, this here, let's take a look at it. We'll do that valiancy, and you see it says there, next level increases ground troop HP by 36% when joining alliance war, and increases ground troops defense by 51% when defending. You want those in defending buffs. Go up here to the Thieves Dragon again. This one's got all ground troop HP and siege machine attack because this one has Leonidas as defense instead of Leo. And this one's talents are way up there, level 53. This dragon I think is level 10. But yeah, in-city ground troop HP plus 42%. So let's look at a hit. This one took gotta reset it. Switching between different accounts on an Android, it'll do that with your mails. Alright. Alright. Battlefield. Let's go down here to Gold Star one. There's the one I'm looking for. Okay. This one right here. She took a rally. If you'll add that up, she barely won it. But 584 million lost power to both reinforcements and the attacker. That adds up 640 something. So she won by 56, 58 million. That's still positive. Sometimes that's all you can get. And the range buff. Alright, now take a minute to look at her ground troop HP buffs. They're 1406. Now, I'm saying for a K39, 1500 minimum. So when I'm telling you get them in-city troop buffs up there, we've done it. And I've just shown you how we did it, basically. And I just told you how we did it. So repetition is for emphasis. And then if you look at the siege machine attack buffs, that's 1453 for us underneath Black Mamba. So that's nearly 1500 where you need to be. And then look down here at the range debuff. The range debuff for attack is 945% underneath Black Mamba. That's almost 1,000. So we practice what we're preaching. And underneath Fog Decks right there, to the right of the range troop there, you'll notice the attack buff is 2,400 points. So that's getting pretty serious sharp teeth there. And you'll notice her ground held up pretty good. There was 1 million T-14 grounds in there, and they killed 1.291 million of the enemy troops, and they only lost 14 million troops. Range did alright. They killed 537,000 enemy troops, only lost 227,000. Now look at what the siege did. The T-14 siege killed 759,000, nearly 760,000 enemy troops. Only 12,592 went to hospital. And you look on down and you see the same trend. Now you'll notice the mounted troops got wiped. None of them survived. T-14 mount lost 2.3 million T-14 troops. You've got more T-14 mounts than we do. We ain't gonna build no more. T-13 mount got completely wiped. That always happens in a range attack. And she still won it. Now look at the T-13 siege layer. Killed 597,000 of their troops. Didn't lose a single troop. That T-12 ground layer. Only 156,000 of them in there. And they killed 218,000 troops. Those ground buffs work. And then going down to T-12 siege, they lose 112, kill 338,000. You want a ratio like that in every layer. If you can get it, that's how you win. T-11 killed 849,000 troops, only lost 46,000. That's a win. T-11 siege machine did not lose any troops, killed 695,000 T10 ground. I mean, it's getting boring at this point, but you see what's happening. She's killing a lot of troops per layer and not losing a lot of troops, except on mounted. It's a range attack. That's what's going to happen. Now, look at the attacker. There's 4 attackers on this. And look how they made their marches. Gave up a lot more in T14 and T13 for my taste, but they did pile on in the T12 layer. See, their T12 range got 8 million kills. Them other 2 layers didn't even get over 2 million. Remember what I told you with the T12 attack? And go to the next one. That one didn't send a lot. Go to the next one. Yeah, T12 takes out more. They piled on a little bit too much top tiers. But it was a grand total of it was over 10 million troops that came at her in the rally with a 2400 buff, and she still fought it off and won on points with all her horses in there. So what I'm preaching about the high tier ground buffs, you want those. You want it. My whole point to all of this, everything I just showed you, long story short, again, look to the left of the ground troop there under Black Mamba, buff for allied troops, ground troop. Look to the left of it. HP and defense are over 1300, that's good. HP is approaching 1500, that's where you want them. You're shooting for 1500. You probably won't get there till K39, but you need to shoot for it hard as you can. And go down to the siege machine attack buff. To the left of the siege machine there, 1453. It's nearly 1500. And you see what the siege machines did. They killed a ton of ranged troops and they didn't get hurt much. And look down there at the range debuff. The range attack is minus 945. It's probably over 1,000 now, but I'm showing you how to get it. And this keep took a rally against a 2400 range attack rally. That's tough. That zeros. Hell, I think Darby's the only one that's took one, and he lost on points. So what I'm telling you is some real shit, and I know reading these points, these reports is like fucking deciphering Egyptian glyphs, but I'm going to help you through that too. It's a long, drawn-out process, but it is worth it. Let's go look at that siege blazing. Just to prove a point what I'm talking about. That one says defending siege machine attack 3 times. Hopefully it pops another one at 15. That's perfect. You want them all like that, just like the flat refines on your Queen Boudica gear. And that helps you buff that deal up too. And I know I've said a lot of the same thing twice, but this is a different format where you can see it. And you just saw what them things did. They tore up a shit ton of range troops, badass range troops, and they didn't lose much. So, as many places as you can, and let's look at the duty generals for these real quick, because I did mention duty generals. Ban Chow. At 2 stars, in-city range troop and siege machine defense up 15. At 1 star, in-city range troop and siege machine defense up 15 and HP up 15. You know, reduces enemy mounted troop attack 20%, increases your in-city range troop attack by 20%. He buffs range and siege. Star him up. Get him and star him up. Oleg of Novgorod, he's got 1 red star. Increases mounted troop attack, defense, and HP by 5%. When generals, a stable officer, in-city ground troop and mounted troop defense plus 10% and HP plus 10%. Get him and star him up. Duty generals. They buff those troops. Abdul Rahman, 1 red star. In-city ground troop and mounted troop defense plus 10%. HP plus 10%. All them little bitty percentage points, they add up. And they work. You see them ground troops, a lot of them didn't go nowhere. They were still standing there, and they killed a bunch of ranged troops. You want to fight off them attacks, this is how you do it. UG Mundiak, 1 red star, in-city ground troop, mounted troop defense, plus 10, HP plus 10. Get these generals and star them up. It's all these generals here, duty generals. Anything you see that buffs in-city troops, that's basically it, and proof is in the battle reports. Hope that makes sense and hope that helps. Happy hunting. Get them wings and kick their ass. Hell yeah. Alright, I'll sign off of this if I can find that damn thing. Yeah, there it is.